Richard, before you do anything, I want you to model the outfit and turn around and show everybody.
Yes.
Would you mind, please?
Would you give me a little beat? I like to walk with my beat. Shut up.
Ask you, did you design that for comfort as well, but the open back?
I was talking to your producer, and he said, look, like I pulled down the drapes before I left home and put them on, and I just told him to shut up.
He's the only man I know with enough charm to say shut up to an audience, and they laugh. They think it's delightful.
Yeah, I had a few people to throw a few things.
Where was this?
Well, I played for some of my friends. I had a black lady to throw something at me one night. She didn't like because I said shut up, and I told her I was beautiful. She didn't like that either.
But she believed it.
No, she didn't believe it.
Oh, you had to believe
She
it.
looked up there and she saw it, and I said, aren't you looking at it? So she looked at it, and she had some glasses down on her. She said, I don't think he's beautiful at all, do you? And so she looked at me, and I just modeled over across the place and said, shut up, because every place I go, people will not deny the fact that I am one of the best-looking things left in this business.
Right on! Right on!
Everybody's talking about...
See, they're all with you. Nobody denied it.
Oh, they came to see me.
Right.
I want to ask you something. Now, I don't know whether you heard Bobby and I talking a while ago, but he changed his image completely. And I was wondering if you would ever think of doing something like that. Getting rid of your costumes?
Oh, my God, never.
Why?
Ain't nothing about me that I can change, Bobby. Bobby is so versatile, you know. I remember years ago when Bobby first came out, I thought it was Ray Charles. When I first heard Bobby, that's when we was riding hit charts at the same time. Right. And I was Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally and Good Golly Miss Molly, and Bobby was in this other little circle bag. And I personally, I don't think that some of the people really realize how soulful Bobby is. That's the reason when you hear people talking about how soulful Tom Jones. He is soulful. Tom Jones is a great entertainer. But I think that we have it.
He's not so hot in the studio. He only got one little...
I think that Bobby Darin has been doing soul music a long time. And, you know, we have it right here in the country. He's here. He hasn't had his television show yet. I'm sure that he could get one. He probably hasn't wanted to spend the time in that. But Bobby Darin is a soulful entertainer. Tom Jones is a soulful entertainer. But the difference between Tom Jones and Bobby Darin to me, Tom Jones just let it all hang out. Bobby let it hang out too.
Hard to follow that.
No, he just let it all hang out. Some people let it hang out, and some people go as far as they can. So Bobby goes as far as he can.
You know, we've talked many times. You've started so many people in the business, and the Beatles used to work behind this man.
That's right.
That's the truth.
And eat up all the steaks, and I had to pay for them.
Yeah. Tell again, because
they was making
he paid them this much.
They was making $50 a week a person.
When they worked for him.
John, Paul, Ringo, and George, and I was beautiful even then.
Mm-hmm.
And so they was on the tour with me. We stopped in Hamburg, Germany at the Star Club. And so John would order all this food every night, and he knew he was making $50 a week. He even took up about 20 of it in whiskey, and I would have to pay the food bill every night. So when they made up the song, I saw us standing there. They brought that to me to record. And so at the time, my manager wouldn't let me record. You know, everybody's hungry for this publishing bit.
Yeah.
And at the time, I should have been hungry for it then. I found out later I should have been hungrier than I was now for it. And I gave away all these songs. You know, when I made those songs, Mike, I didn't make any money for those songs. You know, when I made Tutti Frutti, I was getting a half a cent a record.
You
I was
gave
getting
the
a
song to
half a
Pat
cent.
Boone, too, and he had
That's
big
right, I was
hit.
getting a half a cent a record. And
half a cent a
the
record.
fella in specialty is sitting up on this great big hill, and I'm down in the valley. He looks at me every morning because he made all the money.
Well, I don't think the public generally knows, but an artist a record artist normally gets, I think standard is 5%
5%.
of the sale price of the record.
Were you saying just then
You get
that
a half a cent
as
a
an
record.
artist royalty?
As an artist
Yes.
royalty.
Oh, that's incredible. That's
Boy.
absolute.
That's all I got.
thievery.
I got that for Good Golly Miss Molly.
Oh, wow.
I got that for Keep a Knockin'. I got it for Long Tall Sally. And I was in
And
Macon.
they all exceeded 1 million in sales.
Oh, 60 million.
60 million records he sold.
60 million, and I didn't know, but I learned about it later, so I sued him because I wasn't but 17 years old at the time, so I got my money. Indians always get their money. They always get their money.
Were you at all competitive in the early days? Were you really in there fighting for your life?
Yes, because when I came out, it was so hard when I first came.
Oh,
when I first
boy.
came out, it wasn't no rock and roll, and you didn't hear nothing but you heard Glenn Miller and, you know, the real big bands, you know. And so when I came through with all that wop, bop, loom, bop, bop, bam, boom, I think people thought that something
What
had
was
broke loose. Tutti Frutti, I came through with Tutti Frutti, and it was my first record.
Is that the first line? Wop, bop, a bam?
Wop, bop, loom, bop, bam, boom.
And boom is right.
And I was washing dishes at the bus station. You know, I told you all about my
Yeah.
auntie down in Georgia.
Yeah. How were records promoted in those days? How did people get them around?
Well, it wasn't but
radio
5 black stations at the time. And they called if any black singer made a record, they called it race music. And the records was real big, you know, at the time. And so I got played on these 5 stations. But happened when I came out, the white kids dug my music. Thank God. Because if y'all hadn't have dug it, I would have been still digging in the dishes. Shut up. So
I was just looking at the top 100 best-selling records in the country, and yours is, I think, 43 or something.
oh, yes, Lord. You know, that's just like #1 to me, Mike.
Is it?
I haven't been in the hit parade in 12 years.
It's on the charts now.
In 12, oh my God, I was so glad to hit it. You know, I put it up over my bed and put tape over it and watched it. And I look at it every night.
Can I come and look at it?
Please.
It's been 4 years for me, and I just want.
Oh, Bobby, you can get a hit whenever you get
It
ready.
hasn't been 4 years since.
Bobby can get a hit when he get ready.
He can get a hit anytime.
Anytime he can make
Oh, yeah.
movies, anytime. That's,
Oh, that's
beautiful.
not altogether true.
Isn't
That's
it?
not?
No, not altogether.
You're going to make a movie.
I'm going to make one now, but I waited 20 years. I want to make one before I die.
Yeah. When are you gonna make it? Real soon?
Yes, Warner Brothers just came up to me. God bless Warner Brothers. I've been living around the corner from them for years, and I just knew that I was allowed in the gate.
What are you gonna play in the movie? You gonna play yourself?
I'm going to
in
be a
it?
preacher.
Oh, yes.
Now,
In one
don't
movie,
laugh.
I
they
can
call
handle
me they call me the insane minister, and I'm preaching to all of the hippies, as they call them, hippies. I don't like that word hippie.
Right.
I hate that word. I call them the RPs, the real people.
I know.
Yes, I don't like that word hippie. I can't stand that.
You two are gonna sing together now. Have you ever done this before? Have you two ever sung together before?
No, this
I
is my
can't tell you
first time.
what an honor it's going to be for me.
It's an honor. When they told me that I was on the bill and on the same show with Bobby Darin, I said, me? I've never been on the show with Bobby Darin before, and I've always wanted to be on the show with
But
Bobby
you recall a
Darin.
couple of years ago, we almost worked out
Yeah,
the
we was going
schedules.
out to the theaters and
Right,
around.
exactly
But
right.
I pulled from that manager because he took all my money. And I left him.
I gotta talk to you. You're with the wrong people.
Not no more.
Not no more.
No. I used to be with them, but I found out that Indians don't have to stay with the wrong people. And this fellow was a colored brother, and he had silver hair. And when I saw him, I knew something was going to go wrong. When I saw this silver hair. So he took all of my money, and I got it back. He bought him a Rolls Royce, and I was riding the yellow cab. So I decided that I would go get out of the cab and get in the Rolls Royce.
Well, what you're gonna hear in a moment will be a TV first, but we have to. Oh, they're gonna do it now, or I thought we were gonna have to pause first.
No.
Well, we'll pause and listen to Bobby Darin and Little Richard
We're gonna get to it
combine
now?
their talents.
All right.
Here they are.
Mojo or what?
You're on the card, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the court. Ready?
Are we on?
I got a mojo working my work on you. Yeah, baby. Got my mojo, got a mojo working, but it just won't work on you. It won't work on you. won't do. Oh, yeah. Got my mojo working, babe, but it just won't work on you. Yeah, yeah. Got my mojo working, but it just won't work on you. Hey, hey. Down in New York City, baby, you know New York City won't do. Hey, hey. Right in New York City, yeah. Wow, New York won't do. Oh, yeah. But it just won't work on me. Ain't no way it's gonna work. Oh, yeah. But it just won't work on me. Yeah, yeah. It's right all over town. You know New York never will do. Oh, yeah. All over this country, yeah. You know New York City. I say New York City won't, Jackson, Mississippi will not.
That's right, I never go there.
Gadsden, Alabama will
No,
not
no,
either.
no, 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 no.
You
Governor
cannot
Wallace told me
exclude
to lie away in the Indians down
Sacramento,
there.
because the Sacramento's getting worse and worse all the time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I guess what we're trying to say is, what we're trying to say is that the country won't.
Oh, drop it on down there, Bobby.
Bobby Darin, we'll be right back.